Hey everyone, and welcome to Book Review Bites, the podcast where your friendly neighborhood Oroville Library District librarians pick a book and review it a few chapters at a time. Because book review bites.
Oh, but
This way, you have a chance to grab the book and read along with us. So call us, come in, and reserve your copy today of The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. And you can read along with us. Today is our... Thanks, Vanna.
You're welcome. I forgot mine at home.
Today is our third installment of this book. So we've read, I guess, 3/4 of the way through.
Yep.
Very specifically, that's pages 157 through 231, which we have to say because the chapters aren't numbered.
And I'll get me on that.
last podcast.
Nina's been mad about it for a long time.
Still mad about it.
And we're only going to talk about that section today. And not only are we not only going to talk about it, we have not read beyond. So we don't know what's going to happen. And these are our true opinions of what we know so far based on what we've read so far. So feel free to pause the video, grab a copy, and catch up. Go watch our previous episodes and let us know what you think down in the comments. Treat it like a book club. Did you think what we were thinking? Did we miss something that you caught when you read?
Yeah.
Let us know. We'd love to find out. Also, this podcast is for adults. Though we will always endeavor to keep our conversations family friendly, we can't guarantee that the content of each book is suitable for all audiences. So viewer discretion is advised.
Very advised.
Like and subscribe to let us know you enjoyed this. And all the following opinions are our own. So, what did we think?
It got better.
It got better, and then I feel like it got worse.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. I'm glad
Yeah.
somebody said it.
I agree. I
I'm
wrote,
glad.
I know this is kind of jumping ahead,
It doesn't matter.
but it was talking about all the lives of Norcy.
Oh my god, they kept
Oh.
going and going and going. I'm like, how many lives? I don't
I
care.
am so
don't care.
glad I'm listening to it on audio.
Did you
I
and
know, me
reading
too.
along.
Me
Well,
too.
no, because she kept rattling off, and I was like, these are such, it's like just a sentence of a life.
Yes.
Which
Yeah.
is great to have. But I'm like, I can't document all these and remember all these. So I
Yeah.
literally went, this is for, what was information for if I need to come back to
Yes.
this chapter.
Yeah.
Dog-eared it and everything.
Yeah.
I hate
Yeah.
doing
I
that.
remember because Hugo pops in one
Yeah.
of those, and it was just mentioned, and then 2 pages later, she says she decides to stop listing lives, and they're like, oh, let's go and talk about that conversation I had with Hugo. I had
Yeah.
to flip back because it said where they were, and I was like, is this a different life, or is she talking about the one she had in the list?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because there was so much information dropped there.
It's like
Yeah.
a truth bomb.
Because
It's
I
word
get
vomit
it.
everywhere.
Yeah. Because I wrote listing the different lives was cute for a while, but now I'm annoyed.
Yeah, I was very annoyed.
Because, I was with her. Even, I get that they were, trying to pick up the pace. So they were like, here's another life, here's another life, here's another life. And I was on board for, 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
And then I wanted them to just say, and she tried a bunch of other lives.
Right.
'Cause
I
then,
think it went on for 3 pages.
Oh, it did.
It was
It was-
ridiculous.
Whatever that chapter is, it's decent.
I was
Yeah.
like, wow. I'm not even paying attention anymore. And then I started, you, to think, ugh, am I going to need this information later?
Right.
Because I don't remember.
I'm not going to
these
write
blips.
down every single life that she has so
No.
I can go back to it. So that's why
Yeah.
I literally dog-eared the page for that chapter.
Oh,
Wrote
nice.
on the top,
Yeah.
this is if I need to come back to know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
Page 213 to be exact. I put lots of lives. Page 214. Hugo.
And Hugo.
Yep.
Here you go.
I was glad we didn't spend a lot of time on Hugo, though.
I didn't want to go back to Hugo.
Because, yeah, I was afraid that, he was going to come and, disturb her life again.
That's what we thought
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
we read this. Yeah.
And he's going to make problems. At least in my opinion, because I don't like him.
Well, yeah, how we ended last one was we hate Hugo, we don't like Hugo. Yes, we're glad that she's getting to experience this life with somebody that is going through the same thing she is.
Yeah.
But we don't like him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he's a jerk. He's not learning anything. Doesn't seem to be interested in learning anything. I don't know. It was just a mess. I felt like he was not going to help her through her journey.
No.
He was only going to
Hinder
create more problems.
He's going to hinder
So
it.
when he popped up again, I was like, oh!
Nope.
But it was just a sentence, and then boom, we're done. Here's
Yeah.
72 more lives.
Yeah.
And
Pretty much.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't enjoy that part.
So I would recommend listening to it on audio. I think because I read it at first, I was reading along, and I was like, thank God that I'm listening to this on audio, because then I can
didn't.
stop looking at it.
Yeah.
I was just reading it, and I zoned out a couple of times.
Yeah.
And had to reread, which was even more annoying, because I'm, like, annoyed that this is happening anyway. And I was like, I don't even remember what the last 5 were.
Yeah.
Like, now I have to reread.
So that's why I was like, I'm so thankful for this instance that I'm listening to it on audio,
Yeah.
because I could literally just not look at it and
Be
listen
like,
to
yep,
it.
okay.
Yeah,
it
almost you zoned out. I even zoned out when I was listening to the audio.
Yeah.
Because she kept rattling off all
Yeah.
these different things.
And maybe, is that a indication that she was only there for a very brief amount of time?
I think so.
Yeah.
And she was just like, bloop, bloop, bloop.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I think even Miss Elm said something about that they were only brief. Okay, I'm just
Brief lives.
repeating exactly what you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
agree.
Miss Elm did point that out, that they were just brief moments.
So fine. I was a little frustrated because not only was it kind of frustrating to read the 962 lives, but it said to me that she wasn't like trying anymore.
Yep.
And I was
Yeah.
like, okay,
Too
when
picky.
are you gonna, when are you gonna, like, I don't know, make the next progress?
Right.
Because it was just like boom, 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 boom. And I was like, ugh.
Yeah. Why do we need to go through all this? You haven't figured out something? You
Or,
haven't figured out that, like, life is not perfect?
exactly that. If,
Yeah.
if
Which-
you haven't
but-
found one you liked, at least found that you don't like any of them.
Right.
Yeah, which I thought she had that uphill moment prior to that
Yeah.
the lives. It was like she's like, oh yeah, I understand that not all these are perfect, you
Mhm.
know, and that's why the library is here, is for me to decide. And then she goes through this tumbleweed of lives, and I'm like, you're not learning anything. You're going literally backwards.
Yeah.
Like we just
Yeah.
had this moment,
Yeah.
not 2 chapters before you, to then just have to go back. You know, I don't know. I was really mad. I was like, really? Do we have to go through this again?
Yeah, I agree.
She did say something about, I might have to look, but the base of depression and, like, there's no way out of her misery. She did recognize that going through each of these lives, there's, like, I don't know how to say it, like, the misery's still going to be there,
Yeah.
but you have to change the way you think about it. You know,
Right.
it's something
Yeah,
like that.
I
I didn't
remember.
write too much here, but yeah.
No, I did like that. She did realize, like, yeah, not everything's gonna be perfect,
Yeah.
but every life's gonna be different because of that.
Right.
All relying back to her mental health, because that's what her root life has been dealing with.
Yeah.
Is it, but there's no life where you can be in a sheer state of happiness forever, and imagining there is just brings more unhappiness in the life you are in.
Probably.
Because
Yeah.
I wrote that quote down because I thought it was nice. I think this book has a lot of nice things in it and a
Yeah,
lot of
It's
good.
very real.
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things where I go, oh, because like I wrote that down because I also went, oh,
Yeah.
that's a good way to like think about things.
Yeah.
But then I read 3 pages of lives, and I went, well, this isn't my favorite thing.
This is not my favorite part of doing this.
No.
Yeah, and that's how I felt. Like, there's so many, she learned through so many things throughout this section in life.
And
Like-
before she got to the life
Yeah.
speeding by,
Yeah.
because she had that moment of realization before she went and tried 900 other lives.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was like, wait
So
a minute.
why are we doing this?
Because
Yeah.
Why are we
because she
going-
experienced her
yeah.
music life, like we had ended last time.
Yeah.
She wanted to do that part
She
of her
got
life.
famous.
She got famous.
Her brother wasn't there.
And I literally wrote on the top of my chapter, I'm like, is her brother dead in this life?
Yeah. I had to go
Ah.
back because I couldn't quite understand it. And then it was like, who
'Cause
was the
Rafi-
manager?
Rafi.
Joanna?
Joanna, yeah.
It said, oh gosh, I wish I would have wrote that down. It said something, she was hyping up
Yes.
the crowd or something like that, and Nora was like, no wait, you said he. So
Yeah.
so I had to go back a few pages and like reread it. It still didn't make sense, but then I
In
was
her
like, wait a
mind, she
second.
thought she was referring to her
'Cause
brother.
Joe.
She thought she saw him, right?
Joanna was Joanna's nickname.
Oh.
So when Rafi
Yeah.
said Joe, he meant Joanna. And
Oh.
she obviously, being new to this life, thought
Her
it was
brother.
Joe, her brother. Which,
Got it.
you know, I didn't put together until that moment when
She was-
they do that, the pronoun mix-up.
Okay.
So that was just, the pronoun mix-up was when I went, oh right, her name's Joanna.
And I didn't put that together at all, even when I reread it.
Ah.
So,
I mean,
that's interesting.
well, they wanted
Okay.
you to not put it together right away, so that
No.
we also went,
I was the same
her
situation.
brother's outside.
Yeah.
And then I didn't even think about when Joanna got introduced to us, the reader. I was
Right.
like, oh, this is their manager or whatever.
Well,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
at the very end of her, like, she kept bringing up her brother, like,
Yeah.
I wonder where my brother is, I wonder where, like, you know, and then they mentioned, like, all these, like, little different things, like, oh, you know, like, Izzy was still alive, and
Oh,
somebody was
yeah.
still alive that wasn't alive before.
Yeah.
And
She
they
starts-
hadn't brought up her brother yet. And I was like, and it was, like, the end of the chapter before she found out that her brother was dead, and I was like, is her brother dead in this
Yeah.
life?
Yeah.
I couldn't put that together at all. I don't know why.
I think that's fine. I think that's what they wanted. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
It wasn't until the end. I had no, like, I didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
You know? Like, you probably should, but I didn't.
Yeah.
And I know this is really weird to say, but I was like, I think he's dead. Or he's
Right.
doing something else. Because I remember I wrote it down. Like I said, I didn't bring my book today. But I was like, okay, there's something wrong in this life that her brother's not around. Whether
Yeah.
that be, you know.
Well, you knew there
himself.
was going to be something wrong. I suspected the wrong was going to be in that relationship,
Yeah.
which obviously was part of the wrong with that she had with that movie star. Is that a real movie star's name, or is
I
that
don't think so.
I don't think so.
a fake thing for this particular book?
Ryan
No.
Bailey.
Ryan
Brian
Yeah.
Bailey, yeah.
No.
I was like, am I supposed to know who that is?
He sounded like a tool. I didn't like it.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
I
So I'm just being
figured,
real here.
I thought like when she had that conversation, was like so flabbergasted that this movie star would be talking to her. I
Yeah.
was like, okay, this is gonna be. You're gonna find out you've had like no good relationship ever, and
Yeah.
you're just searching for happiness in the wrong places, and blah blah blah. People are gonna disappoint you, which was like kind of true, but obviously the real kicker of the whole life was her brother
Yeah.
Yeah.
and his overdose. But
I am having a problem with her being so clueless every time she's in a life.
I thought
and-
of you.
Like some people, I can't remember specifically, but it was Joanna. She was questioning like, why don't you know this? What the schedule and stuff. Why don't you know
Or
that?
like the
but
songs.
but then they don't talk about it anymore.
Cause like
So
I feel like I wrote down somewhere, when she was in the car heading to her interview,
yes,
I was like, why aren't you listening to your music so that you can like have a clue about
something.
what to say?
Yeah.
But she just showed up and like mentions a song that she hopes she still wrote in this life and is part of this life, and
Yeah.
it happens to be.
And how embarrassing would that have been
For that person.
if she had no? I mean, I can't imagine going into a life and going, "Oh yeah, I know everything."
But I did like
she knows
how...
nothing. She's clueless all the time.
Yeah.
But-
and nobody really.
Here's the thing, though, is that she's clueless in every life, because that's how I feel. Like, she goes into it, she
Yeah.
goes in blind like she does every time, which is normal at this point.
Yeah,
That
I
she
mean,
goes in
it's-
blind and she's going to be dumb.
It's understandable. Yeah. Yeah. That she's not gonna know anything.
And, but she can know everything in a minute, going through all these other lives.
I don't feel
That-
like she does know. Though.
But
she
she knows all the
said-
information.
She said somewhere in there that she usually Googled herself when she got to a new life
Oh.
to help fill in the pieces. This was
I
later
don't-
though. This was after the superstar one.
Okay, maybe I don't remember.
She
So did she Google all those lives that she was in for a minute? Like, do you even have the time for a minute to
I
look
don't
at?
know.
Yeah.
It is still unclear to me how much time she spent in all those other lives we read about very quickly.
Yeah.
Did we just read about them quickly and she investigated them?
Yeah.
Or did they really happen quickly?
Yeah.
Also, time is not a thing right now. So quickly and not quickly doesn't like
No
mean
time,
anything.
no chapter numbers, nothing.
Yeah, because remember she looked back at her watch again and,
And
it
it's
said
just
0000.
Yeah.
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 Crazy lady.
Crazy lady.
But
Yeah, so I don't understand the whole clueless thing. Nobody is going, wait a second, you don't even know your own name? Or, not name, but...
Well, she didn't-
You
yeah.
don't...
She doesn't know people's names sometimes.
Right.
Like she wouldn't have known Joanna's name.
But she should have.
And they had a bass player or whatever that she didn't know.
Yeah. I just don't... I don't understand the clueless thing.
But I don't either because I don't understand how she's expected to be successful. Like if she picks
figure
this
out
life,
anything.
like she's got to figure that out.
Right.
But also maybe that's part of the point. Maybe she's not supposed to be in any of these lives, and that's why they don't give her what she needs because this is all just
Okay.
a learning
Wow.
experience.
Like, it's not worth it. It's not... Like,
Yeah, like it's all just a means to an end.
Yeah.
So maybe Mrs. Elm knows, and Nora can't know yet. That
Yeah.
she's not going to end up here. Like, maybe Mrs. Elm knows what the end means. And,
She knows the outcome.
like,
already.
Nora has to figure that out.
Yeah.
So Mrs. Elm's not worried about her ending up in a life that she doesn't know anything about because she knows she's not going to.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
How does Mrs.
Maybe
Elm know
that's-
that though?
I do like Mrs.
That's
Elm though
crazy.
as a
Librarians know
character.
everything.
I do like her as a character though because she needs that like solid person regardless of
I
who
feel
she
like
is or
it's
not.
a no nonsense kind of librarian, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, "Will you just quit it already?"
Yeah.
Have you learned nothing?
Right. Yeah.
And I liked how she's like, no, your book of regrets is getting lighter, but you're building, you know, it's ebbing and flowing is how I took that information from her.
Oh, right. They talked about the Book of Regrets again, and I thought of you because you had mentioned thinking that she needed to see something in there because Mrs. Elm kept mentioning it.
Yeah.
So I was anticipating, like, she was going to pick up the Book of Regrets and, like, I don't know, have some epiphany or something.
And she didn't.
No.
No, she never picks up a darn book ever.
No.
Maybe that's still something that will happen.
Yeah.
We don't know. But I was like, oh, maybe Nina was right, and, like, we're going to move forward here. But now I'm worried because, not worried, but, like, this book isn't going, they're never going in the direction I think they're going.
No.
But, like, I thought she was going to go back to her root life
Yeah.
and realize that, like, she said it and hinted towards, like, you got to just make the best of it.
Right.
And she said it several times in
Yeah.
this section that we've
In
been
this
reading.
particular chunk, yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, great. I'm so proud of you. You've learned this in 100 and something odd pages.
Yes.
Perfect. But what are you going to do the rest of this book?
Right.
Yeah, because there's still so much left.
Yeah.
Even, like, where we ended, which was kind of a cliffhanger.
Yes.
Mhm.
They're really going to have to wrap it up because
There's so much
Yeah.
that I feel like they have to wrap up, though.
Yeah, because I have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
So she picks the life that Ash is in, right? And it's
that
like
was like the
Mrs.
last
Elm
part.
challenges her to pick a book that's not predictable or something
Yeah.
because she's so
She's been picking all the books that she's been wanting. She wants her to pick up.
they
Life
were on
that
the
she's-
middle shelves, and she said reach for a top shelf or a
Or the
bottom shelf.
Mhm.
So I think that's how she got to the one with Ash, and I don't remember what. Oh, she was in a life and she saw Ash, right? Oh, the good life when she was like an alcoholic with the pet shop. No, the.
Oh, she was a groomer or a.
With Dylan.
What do you call the place where they go to be when they're given away? Shelter.
Oh, yes,
She
yes,
was
yes,
at
yes.
the shelter
Yeah.
With Dylan.
She was a
with
worker.
Dylan,
Mhm.
named after Bob Dylan.
These two.
And she's like, everything about it is nice, but it's just nice. And
Right.
I was like, there is no pleasing you.
No.
It's like, you either it's too tumultuous and too dramatic and too, oh my gosh, or it's
Yeah.
too bland. I was like,
She's too picky.
I literally put down at
Yeah,
the
you're
bottom,
right.
because when they introduced Dylan, he was very nice, very low key, very soft spoken, you know, and great, that's perfect.
Mhm.
But for her personality, it doesn't match.
yeah,
And
but,
maybe in that life, yes, but,
but
for
she's
her
so
physically, no.
fragile
Yeah.
that I feel like she doesn't need someone who's like real, go get him.
Yeah. Well, and I put down there how much is too pure, not like too
Oh.
much, because like there's the very kind-hearted people out there, but sometimes they don't match with somebody else if they're not like with that Nora that's in that life that she took over fits perfectly with Dylan. Great and fantastic. I would not want to be surrounded by 500 dogs. No.
That's a presumption though. Like, Root Life Nora is going, oh, the Nora in this life loves Dylan. You don't know that.
Yeah.
She knows nothing. Maybe
Right.
she feels the same way you do. And Root Life Nora was so concerned about leaving so that Real Life Nora could jump in.
Right.
But maybe Real Life Nora was also wishing she wasn't there. Like, I got confused there. So it's like, you are always presuming that the you in all of these lives is doing so super fantastic. And that's not a guarantee.
Well, and that's why I'm like, she just doesn't vibe with Dylan in this chapter.
I get it.
And like
Yeah.
he's too pure in my eyes. Like he's too nice. He's too good. Like
Too many dogs.
too many dogs.
He has to
No.
sit on the floor. I thought that was pretty funny.
I was
That
just
he sat
like-
on the floor because the dog, was taking up the whole. Was it a Marvin? Not a Marmaduke.
What did they say?
Oh, it was a very like fancy big
It was
dog.
a big dog.
Yeah.
Because the Irish setter or something was on the
I don't know,
sofa.
maybe
Yeah.
I'm not
put
gonna
it on
find
the
it.
No, it
She'll
doesn't
put it on
matter.
the screen maybe.
It was
Okay.
this dog.
Yeah.
You know, guys. Remember?
Duh. I do like that you. Well, maybe I don't like it. I don't know. You said that she's very fragile right now.
Mm.
I don't feel like she's fragile at all.
Oh.
I feel like she's like all right, next one. I don't like this. I don't like that.
She knows
He's
what she
too
wants
hairy.
now.
She's too, she's too nice. She's
Too
too
many
mean.
dogs.
She's
Yeah.
getting a little flippant.
Yeah, I feel like
Kinda
she
like
is.
Hugo.
Maybe in the beginning she was fragile, but now she's like just
Well, and it was
bouncing from, life to life.
Was the life before, like all the lives of Nora, was that before Dylan or after Dylan? Do you guys remember?
Oh, let me see.
I think it
Going
was.
in circles.
'Cause I
Oh,
don't-
then the vineyard.
Oh, I
life.
put lots of lives here,
Oh, right.
and then I think it was before.
I think it was before listing all the lives because
Is that when Mrs. tells her to pick a shelf?
she
like,
goes
from a
to the
different shelf?
vineyard. She goes.
Oh,
she's
Oh,
not
dinner
liking-
with Dylan. It was before.
Yeah, she just goes to and does the animal shelter life, and I'm like, I don't know what she wants. She has both extremes.
Yeah.
And then she picks the vineyard life, which I felt like had nothing to do with absolutely anything.
Yeah.
No.
She picked a life that looked like the picture on the wine bottle.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, what do you think is going to come of this?
Yeah, there was no purpose for that life.
I mean, the guy seemed nice, but
Yeah.
But she
She
admitted
wasn't
to
happy.
think, well, see, once again, she's assuming she knows how Nora from that life feels. And she assumed that Nora from that life also felt stagnant or, like, bored.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, honey, it's you, so...
See, and that's why I don't feel like she's fragile anymore. She's too like
Now she's like...
she knows
sassy.
everything.
well, the
Yeah, yeah.
life at the vineyard seemed almost like too perfect.
Yeah, everything was going great.
Yeah.
They had the
They had the
wildly
kid, they had the
successful...
house, they had the
Whatever you call
vineyard. I mean, they had
line
all
of
the
wines.
things.
She even looked perfect in California. I wrote that
Oh,
down.
right.
They
Like, everything
described
was
her
tan and
her
cute.
hair.
Like
Nice
everything was
hair.
perfect, but
Except not.
but not because
don't
that's
feel
not
like-
what her life that she assumed of.
She also, if she really liked that, she should have stayed longer.
Mm.
But then she would have found all the imperfections
And then she would have left anyway.
and then been
'Cause there
a
will
sassy little
always
lady
be.
again. Yeah.
I do. I think you're changing my mind. I think she's
You know?
a sassy little lady.
I don't.
And she
She's-
needs to, like, cut it out.
Yeah.
She's very sassy, and I will say I did like how she's like, yeah, I'm not happy here in this Dylan life. Like,
Yeah.
like physically right now, like I'm not happy. This isn't the life I want. Like, yes, I love this calm. I love working with the animals because that's what I love, and I like having this nice, calm atmosphere. But that's not who she is.
And again, like Paige said, she assumes that she
Yeah.
knows that it's going to be a boring life or a
yeah.
whatever else kind of life she wants to live. I don't know. She needs to quit.
Do you
it.
think she's
I'm
just-
like I'm over it now.
Me
You know,
too,
I,
yeah.
I want her to
Figure it out.
figure it out.
Or something. Figure
Yeah.
something out.
Yeah.
Well, stop
Do
figuring
you
it.
want to die or do you not want to die? And then go
Well,
from
and
there.
that's literally
You
the
know?
situation. It's like you already know what you want, but you haven't seen it yet. Like you already know. Like you know what life you're gonna choose. You know you're gonna either choose your life or you're not.
And there's an infinite number
Amount
of
of
lives.
lives.
There's
And
no way you
she's-
can ever possibly see them all anyways.
She's not getting any satisfaction out of this jumping. This
No.
drifting. What do they call it? Shifting? Drifters? Shifters? Sliders.
Slide, yeah.
She's not getting any fulfillment from the sliding.
Mhm.
So, like, is she going to do this for the rest of her quote-unquote life?
Because that's what Hugo's doing.
Yeah. So
Which
that's
makes
not going to
annoyed.
do it for her, though. She's not going to get what she wants out of this. So,
Right.
like, you know, yeah, I mean, not that I want her to, but, like, pull the plug already.
Pull the plug and figure it out.
Yeah, one or the other.
Don't pull the plug on your life, maybe not so much. But,
no,
you know,
I definitely hope she doesn't.
just
But at this point, I'm like, okay, we've stopped.
take a step back and why don't you go sit at the desk with Mrs. Elm and, you know, do some back and forth talking, you know, figure something out. Because
Yeah.
Miss Elm,
Play a game
she
of
seems
chess.
pretty smart. Yes, play the chess game, you know. Yeah, she let you win, maybe. We don't know.
We don't know. I wrote at some point because I was getting not depressed. I was getting
Sad.
Yeah, like I was losing hope.
Yeah.
For Nora based on all these lives she was traveling through. And so I decided maybe maybe there is hope in the fact that all of these lives represent some tiny little interest of hers that she
Oh.
explored very intentionally.
Yeah.
So maybe that means that all of those possibilities exist for her in her root life. She has all these interests.
She knows all these people.
affinities,
Mhm.
and all of these connections that led her wherever these lives are leading her are available to her. So maybe if she thought about it like that and went like, ooh, I have a world of possibilities open to me if I just choose one.
Yeah.
And perhaps think of choosing the lives as having the same repercussions as choosing them in the library. Like, if it doesn't work out, I'll just choose another book.
Well, and I think that's the thing that, like, she knows that already. She said it several times.
So what's she doing? What the heck
is
are
she
you doing,
doing?
girl? What are you doing?
And that's where I'm at. Like, I'm so glad that she realizes that, like, no life is perfect. But I'm just gonna keep sliding through all these lives. Like, what's your point then?
Yeah, she knows,
do you
but
not
she doesn't.
do you not want to go back to
Yeah.
that life? Then you need to find a new
Because
life soon.
all of these possibilities in all of these lives, she can do that in her root life.
Is
She
that
can do all those things.
That's what I
you
mean.
know?
Yeah. So if she realizes that choosing books off this magical library shelf is just like making choices in real life, can't she just go back there and make the most of it?
Maybe she hasn't quite figured that out.
Probably.
You know?
Do
That's
you
maybe what
think-
it sounds like.
do you
She's
think
figured out, like,
Yeah.
what you keep saying about
that not every
you know,
life
life
is perfect?
isn't going to be perfect, and, you know, but maybe she hasn't quite figured out that
She
all
can
these
go back and do
possibilities
that.
are possible in her root life.
Maybe. I don't know.
So she gets to Ash here in the end. And I was like super excited because I was like, see, Ash, this is who I wanted from the beginning.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I wrote, Paige really wanted him.
Yeah. And I didn't really expect him to come back. I thought Hugo was going to be our leading
So
man
did I.
here.
We still don't like Hugo.
I still don't like Hugo. So I was happy for her having a life with Ash, but I'm also like mad at her now. I don't think she deserves this.
No.
No.
I'm like, you leave other Nora alone.
Yeah.
She made choices that led her to this life, and I'm a little weirded out that she got so broken up at seeing her daughter when she's admitted to having seen children in other lives.
Yes.
She
But,
said
like,
most of them didn't have kids, but she did see kids.
But I think she wasn't in those lives long enough that she
Maybe she didn't even interact with them.
didn't interact with them at all.
enough.
I just didn't like it. I
Yeah.
felt like you don't have a right to feel things.
Like-
Like you're being a jerk about this whole situation.
Yeah.
But I do like how she's now starting to bond with the kid, like through that weird like little game, like I need to know more about my life, and I guess this is the way we're gonna do it.
And again, nobody questions the cluelessness. I
But
don't
she's
get
also
it.
a child. So
I
this
I
kinda
know,
works out.
I know.
This one works in her favor. But I'm also like annoyed that she told her daughter about the Midnight Library. She said like, what happens to me when I die? And Nora's like, well, there's a chance, you know, you'll get the opportunity to see what your life would be like if you made other choices. And I'm like, do you want your daughter to also commit suicide when she's middle-aged and
Yeah.
lost hope in all of life? Like,
And it's
I
not
don't
gonna
think
be
that's a good plan.
And that's not gonna be a library for her, more than likely. It's gonna be something else, like Hugo's is a video.
Whatever
It's
store.
going to be
it
the
is.
video store?
It's not the goal.
Yeah.
No,
You don't want to end up in purgatory.
no. But I want to know why the daughter's asking that.
Because she's
Yeah,
a kid.
what's-
They ask weird stuff.
Well, but she's like 4, too. I mean,
Yeah,
and I know
but-
that's like the time. Like, I mean, I work with children all the time. Like, you know, I know they have asked, like, oh, you know,
They
where's
question everything.
they question everything. So
Yeah.
that is very normal. But I, like you said, I was not a fan of how she's like, oh, you can just go to the Midnight Library. You can make choices there. It's fine.
And she like blew it off like, but you don't have to worry about that for a long time. And I was
Yeah.
like, well, if you're going to tell her that, you also need to tell her, well, tomorrow's not a guarantee.
Right.
You might die tomorrow,
You
sweetheart.
have to tell her everything.
Bye.
Yeah.
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 I didn't like it. I was like, get out of this life. And we're still in there. That's where the chapter, or our section ends.
Yeah.
It's like she's still in that life with Ash. And I'm just like, get out. I don't want this to be the one she picks.
Yeah.
I want her to go back to her root life and like find him and make it work.
Uh-huh.
And I
But I
think
don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I want her to go back to her root life. Like, yes, this seems like this might be the one she solidifies with, is the one with Ash and the one with the kid, which I don't remember her name.
Because the chapter title of the next chapter is The Perfect Life.
Oh, I didn't even look. I didn't
I
even.
do know that.
I
And
literally-
the page, and
I
I was like,
literally-
oh.
I literally, like, I went to the chapter and I put our post-it note of, like, where we're supposed to end, so I can know, like, like, I'm getting closer.
Uh-huh.
Yay.
Yeah.
Because I
I
started
didn't-
reading last week.
I didn't read the words, but I read the chapter, and I was like, well, I mean, it could just be the title of the chapter.
Yeah.
It could be anything at this point.
Yeah.
Because
She
the
could
thing
find a
is-
perfect life somewhere
yeah.
else, or maybe
Maybe
she'll
that
figure
means-
out the perfect life is, I don't know, in her root life.
Exactly. That could be what that means.
But like you guys have said, like, I want her to go back to her root life. I want her to make different decisions. I want her to be able to appreciate her life, and because she already does. She appreciates at this moment in time that she's appreciating all these other lives that she's going to. Even though she
Yeah.
doesn't show it.
Yeah.
But she knows that there's going to be imperfections in every life.
Right.
Because she's seen these strengths. She was an Olympic swimmer. She was a superstar. She got to do all of these fun things. She was like, in this life, I think she's a teacher. She's like a professor.
Yeah. She's
So,
quitting
like-
though.
Oh, right. But she accomplished all these things. And in each life, she just chose to focus on a different path.
Right.
So, like, what is blocking her from seeing that,
Yeah.
like, she has all this possibility in front of her?
She's so young, yeah.
Yeah. And she
And
could
she-
still choose.
I like that she was a glaciologist. I just like to say that.
Yeah.
word.
Well,
Well,
Miranda just wants to say glaciologist.
Well, didn't they... She also mentioned, like, she was... Like, in another life, other than the one root life, she was another glaciologist, like,
Yeah, yeah.
dream. Like, she had it twice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, see? Like, you're still a glaciologist.
Yeah.
And you got to do different things in different lives.
But
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
going to say it has to be a different life because remember, she can't go back to the same life twice.
yeah.
Right.
That
not
book
the
does
same
not.
exact.
Not the exact book.
Something about. I forget how they said it. They made it like library-ish. Like
Yes.
they
The
were
book-
put in a bin or something.
The book doesn't go back on the
It's
shelf.
They're in
Right.
quarantine.
They're in quarantine.
A while.
Except they'd never get out.
Don't leave that book.
Once she goes there, yeah. Oh, but like the Book of Regrets. Why
Yeah.
Oh,
she should only be able to go there once. Why is that different?
that's unfortunate that she can always go back to the book of regrets.
all the stupid
That's
things
just
that
the
happen.
sad one.
Yeah.
We get to keep this sad book over here on the shelf all the
Yeah,
time.
the
You
nice-
just can't go back. To
I
all these
picture
other
like a big black,
Yeah.
like gross looking.
No, they're
book,
all
you
green.
know?
Remember? They're all different shades of green.
Yeah, but
So this
the
was
Book
like
of
all
This is
Regrets
her
is
Book of Regrets.
different.
Oh.
It's
a heavier,
different
sturdier.
type of book. Yeah.
They talk about how that one's a little bit different than all the other, you know. books
I
that
just
are-
keep seeing the spell book from Hocus Pocus. Eyeballing it.
the eyeball, like big regret.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I don't know. I just hope she goes back to her root life. She
Yes.
realizes that she can make all these decisions.
Mhm.
She's not with Ash, and that she learns to go through, you know, like you said, she goes in that life and figures out a way to be with Ash if this is the way her perfect life is supposed to be.
Yeah, and maybe some point in there realizes that it won't be perfect, but some things will be.
Right.
And maybe her and Ash are perfect. But like other stuff is like the little kid says that they argue sometimes and whatever. And
When she's
like
real tired.
normal people do.
Right.
And so that's
Yeah.
not, won't hopefully put her off entirely.
Yeah.
Because like, there's always going to be stuff. But
Right.
if there are some really nice things that you can hang on to, you can get through the stuff.
Yeah.
That's life.
Yeah.
That's what life is about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's good things and bad things, and you have to figure it out.
That's
and
right.
Do something about it.
That's
right.
Darn this girl! Would she just do something already?
Well, that's how I
Stop
feel.
going
Like,
through all these lives.
like
Yeah.
I got so tired. I'm like, okay. Because after we went through the whole Books of Lives in Norseed, chapter, I just really remember that title.
Yeah.
After that, and she started going to life with Dylan, I was like, just pick one.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Pick one.
I think the one after Dylan made me go, all right, if this doesn't make you happy, because it was so polar opposite of what she had been picking and like desiring, I thought, oh, she's gonna figure something out here,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and she just faded away.
She doesn't.
Like, all right, friend, I don't know what you're accomplishing here.
Yeah. Nothing.
And I almost don't, well, like I said, I just don't care anymore. Like, I lost my, at the beginning, I felt like, oh, she's so sad.
Yeah.
I want to pull her out of this misery, and I hope, that she finds some hope. And then now I'm like, get over it.
I
do
wanted
not care.
her. I wanted her to do all the lives so she could, like, make a decision on what you want to do. And now that she's doing it, I'm like, geez, come on.
Yeah.
This is enough now.
Yeah.
Like, you've gone through a lot. Not as probably as much as Hugo has, but
Yeah, he's
You've
been doing
gone-
it for like years.
yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
okay. Like, at some point in his video store, kind of like with the library, it's going to crumble and start to
Oh yeah, hers
deteriorate.
started to crumble. Remember?
Yeah, because she
Oh,
started giving
yeah.
up.
Why? Oh
Because
yeah.
it started
Oh
all being
yeah.
weird.
Because she started giving up because she didn't
Yep.
want to do it anymore.
Yep.
Hugo's is eventually going to have to. He's going to get tired eventually of jumping through lives.
We'll have to remember Hugo. Once we find out how Nora, like, figures this all out, we'll have to think about what's going to happen to Hugo. Because I wonder if they're going to say, or we're going to be left trying to, like, piece together what
probably-
his life would have been like.
It's probably gonna be open ended. That's my guess.
Gosh.
I mean, I guess we could discuss that. Like, what do you think the conclusion of this book is gonna lead to?
No, but I want to know. I want to know what Hugo's deal is. I want to know what.
Yeah. I don't want to forget that he's out there floating and learning nothing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Literally.
yeah, he's learning nothing because he keeps jumping from lies. I did appreciate that they discussed how they met up again and they were talking, and that he just like blipped out.
Yeah.
When she said something challenging to him, and he pieced out.
Yeah, he's like, I don't remember you. She was like, that's okay, I don't remember you either.
Yeah, and then she.
And I laughed hysterically, and I was like, I'm laughing.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh, okay. I can't remember what chapter it is, but it's this song poem chapter.
I literally wrote, oh good, there's a song.
There was, during that chapter, and I know you probably would have read it, but I'm listening to it on audio.
Do they sing it?
No, she doesn't sing
Oh,
it. She just says it. But there's that one word, not a nice word.
Oh,
And she
yeah.
says it out loud. And I laughed hysterically.
Right at the end it was in parentheses, yeah.
See, when I read, that's part of the reason I like to read them, because I get to personally censor everything. And I'm like, you're such a Fruit Loop.
She's so nice.
So when you remind me, I'm like, oh, it did say that, didn't it?
It did.
It wasn't Fruit Loop. It was Fruit Loop.
But I was dying. I was
Yeah.
dying. I was
Yeah,
just
I
like,
remember
I was
that.
like,
That's why.
she said the words like a child.
Yeah.
That's why everybody was like, are you okay? Because I think when she leaves the concert, they're doing the finale, she's like, drive safe!
Yes.
The guys are like, drive safe!
Yeah. That's not you. Yeah.
Oh, that's
But I did
remember that.
appreciate that, that she has those moments of like, oh yeah, this is how I'm feeling, or these are poems I wrote, to bring her back to her realness. But she doesn't see it.
No.
Yeah.
She doesn't see it. And that's bothersome to me.
I did write. I know she
Oh.
did talk about the pills in one thing, but it wasn't like, oh, I have to go take my pills or whatever. It was just like
I don't think-
depression
I don't
thing.
remember her mentioning the pills at all this time.
No, I wrote,
And that
well,
was,
there goes my antidepressant theory.
yeah, because like the whole time in the other two podcasts, we were like, oh,
Yeah.
she's always talking about the pills and the depression and all that, and she didn't really
Yeah,
talk about
she's
it too
like,
much.
sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not consistent, and it didn't mean anything. And I was like, ah.
Yeah. Yeah. Another letdown.
All right, well, I was hanging on for that.
Well, and I'm wondering, like, because I was kind of excited not to see those things. Like,
Well-
maybe she's starting to learn, like,
Yeah.
you don't need these things right now, Nora. Like, you're just
It's possible to not
be using those
Yeah,
for
to
your
not-
life.
always be depressed or whatever.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, maybe something's going to turn.
Yeah.
And it's gonna show right back up again. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I'm just like, it was nice to her not to mention something about it, like she's learning. I don't know.
Maybe, I guess you could surmise that means she's learning in some of her lives.
Yeah.
That she's made it without it. So maybe there's that hope that she could make it in her root life too without the antidepressants.
Mm-hmm.
Because maybe, I don't know, maybe she is causing
Yeah.
she's causing the
Grief herself.
the grief and the sadness and the I hate my life, and she is causing all that.
Yeah.
And so maybe she will realize that she doesn't have to cause that stuff.
Yeah.
She can maybe focus on something else and
Yeah.
not be depressed. I don't know.
I mean, it
I
could
don't
be.
know.
I don't
She
know.
needs to learn something, and she needs
We've
to
only got
learn something
How many more
fast.
pages do we have
some
left?
bunny hair for it. We've only got this much left.
Yeah.
This little chunk. This bit.
232 to 288.
Oh wow, that doesn't seem like a lot.
Yeah. Oh, I
It's
have
like what, 40 pages?
dog hair in my book. You have bunny hair.
Oh man.
Don't
You
ask.
probably have cat hair in yours.
Probably.
Lots
I
of
got
pets.
fuzz all over me, and I'm wearing black. Told myself to lint roll before I left, and I didn't.
Yeah.
Like I forgot the book.
Yeah. Everything's at home.
Everything's at home. But I hope, I guess, in this conclusion, that we figure out what's going on with Hugo.
Yeah.
I hope
I
she
don't
goes-
have hopes for that though.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
I want it.
Yeah.
I
I want
it's gonna
to,
happen.
yeah.
Like, I want it, but
Yeah.
is it gonna happen? Probably not.
Yeah.
Do I wish it's gonna happen by this conclusion? Yes.
We could make it.
Um,
We'd like right.
We'll just write a little extra chapter.
They usually they leave
couple
some
pages.
extra pages.
And Hugo is an idiot. And
We don't like it.
he goes back to his root life and is
Why do you
miserable.
need 3 empty pages?
Oh, I think there's more than 3.
Oh my god!
I could have taken
Oh,
all
no,
my notes
4.
on the actual book.
I did.
Yeah.
Within the book. But like I hope that happens, and like you talk, like I hope she goes back to that root life and figures out if this is the perfect life for her with Dan or with Dylan or with Ash, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
She goes back to that root life and figures it out, or goes back in that root life. Like, can you go back to your root life and just go back farther in time?
Will she have all the knowledge that she's gained in the Midnight Library when she goes back? Because, like, that'd be
If not-
trippy.
Well, yeah, that would be trippy.
'Cause
Yes.
she'd be like, in one life, I'm an Olympic swimmer.
Yeah, and all everybody be like, what?
yeah. She
Well,
says that to
who is
somebody.
this?
Well, not
girl,
just
yeah.
that, but like, what if you were to go back to your real life and you don't remember anything? Like, then what was the whole point of this process?
I guess. Did you just will she have like a warm glow where she just feels like everything is okay, and maybe she'll see Mrs. Elm. She'll think
Maybe.
she sees Mrs.
Maybe.
Elm, and then she won't really be there, and then she'll just be like, "I'm okay now."
Oh, man.
I
All
don't know.
these
I don't know
things,
because
yeah.
if she goes back with all this knowledge, like how weird would it be to live the rest of your life having all of these other experiences that actually took no time?
Okay, and also, could she try to commit suicide again and do it all over again?
Ugh.
You know?
I mean,
I don't-
jeez.
I
would
don't
she
know.
want to just experience more different lives?
I mean, I don't
Would
know.
Mrs. Elm have wasted her time on Midnight Library if
Right.
she was just going to commit suicide again? Does Mrs.
But wouldn't
Elm
she
know?
Does she know? Yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
so many questions.
This is a lot of extra questions I didn't have before we started this.
Sorry. Well, I guess my thing is that Miss Elm seems very determined to that she knows that her choice, that what she's going to choose, because it's just, Nora's
Yeah.
imagination or figment of.
Mrs. Elm seems to know.
Yeah, Mrs. Elm knows something, that she knows what she's going to choose. So I just want to know, like, is Mrs. Elm right now? Like, is Mrs. Elm just wasting her time because she knows this is just a waste of time?
Or does it all have a purpose that we don't know yet and Nora doesn't know yet?
I just hope this isn't a before I fall situation.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't like that book.
If
Sorry.
Mrs. Elm knows what's going to happen, why doesn't she just tell her?
Because then
Choose
'Cause
this
they're gonna
book and
break
stay
Nora
here.
wouldn't have learned anything then. If anyone told you how something was going to end up before it started, would you do it? Would you believe them? You know?
Yeah, that's true.
So she probably has to let her experience it, even as excruciating as it might
I
be.
was gonna say,
Well,
like,
it's excruciating on us because we have to read it.
at
but-
some point, Mrs. Elm's gonna be like, okay, you need to choose this
Like,
book,
enough
and
is
we're
enough.
we're just gonna stay
But
in
she
there.
keeps pushing the Book of Regrets, though, like we
Yeah.
talked about. Like, just look at
Yeah.
that. Look at that.
You know, I guess, like, the things I want to know. What's up with the Book of Regrets?
Yeah.
Are we ever going to open that again? What happens to Hugo? And does Nora get to choose a life? Or will she end up back in her root life? And then we have a bunch of other questions about, like, is she going to remember this? Is Mrs. Elm going to be there?
And we'll probably never know.
Yeah.
That'll probably be
I am worried
open-ended too.
now. It's going to be like, and then the rest is to decide for yourself.
Yes, happily, she lived happily ever
And that's-
after.
Well, and like I said, I don't want it to be a before I fall situation because I loved the story in that book and I loved everything about it.
I never
But
read that.
the end, I don't recommend
We have
it.
we've only one book to compare this to, but historically, we have not enjoyed the ending. It's not looking good.
It's not looking good for this one either.
Great.
But I did like how it picked up in this chapter, this section
Yeah.
that we've read. And I'm like, okay, she's experiencing more things.
I
She's
had
doing
a
this.
roller coaster.
Yep,
Yeah.
me
I'm like,
too.
This
Up
is a
and
good
down.
book. This is good, and I don't like it anymore.
I think I even wrote that too. Her emotions are up and down.
Very up and down
Yeah.
compared to the last ones.
But I suppose that's synonymous with depression, right? You
Yeah.
have like sort of big emotions one way or the other.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know anything.
No.
But we're excited to find out.
Still, again.
Woohoo! I'm glad we get like a break now. Because this is one time where I'm not like, I need to go home and figure it out. I need some space.
Yeah.
I was like that the last time around. I was like,
Nora
okay.
needs some time.
Why don't you figure that out, Nora?
Yes, she
Get
needs,
back to me.
She needs to spend some
Yeah.
time alone.
I took a break because I know it was almost like a month between recording
Yeah.
our last
Yeah.
podcast, between this podcast. To you, it's not that long, but to us it is. But I didn't pick it up right away until like last week.
No, because I want to remember it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wanted to remember it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, but I need time from it because it's a sad book.
It is.
Like, I literally, my mother-in-law got it for Christmas, and I said, beware! Like, it has a big sign on it saying, beware, power through the first 12 chapters if you're going to read it.
12,
Yeah.
like 97 chapters.
There
There are a lot
I don't know,
of
there's no
chapters in
chapter
this book.
numbers. I don't know.
No, there are a lot, though. Because I wrote
Really?
down each chapter and underlined. So, like, yeah,
You're
there,
really writing
there
notes
was
on this.
a lot. I don't want to
You
forget
took
anything.
notes like I took notes last time.
Yes,
That's how
I
I took
forget a lot of things.
Yeah, I just wrote it in the book. I
Yeah.
was like,
Yes, Lost in the Library. It's dark.
it's tired.
I have to remember that it's dark.
I did like that whole segment, like, why can't I see you?
Yeah.
Well, the lights are off.
Yeah.
And it made me laugh. I'm like, duh, no, the lights are off.
Yeah.
Like, that's why you can't see. Like, did we
But she-
revert back?
She can't even remember that. She can't even figure that out. This girl is
Right.
crazy.
All right, we need to stop. Or we're
Yes,
just gonna
we're stopping.
complain.
Yes.
All right, so that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed pages 157 through 231. And like we said, stick around for our finale, our final edition of this book. Part 4, coming soon, pages 232 to 288, the rest of the book. So, if you need to, go grab it, start reading, get prepared. I'm excited and I'm scared. And we'll see you soon for that conclusion. So give us a call, check out this book, leave us a comment, let us know what you've been thinking about our thoughts, your own thoughts, and
Like
I
and
hope
subscribe.
you enjoy this as much as we enjoy like ranting about it.
Yes, that's the fun part.
I do
is
love
that
it.
I like to rant about it because it's like I know my fiance's listening to it as
Oh,
I
yeah.
just literally have it out loud normally on my phone and
Sure.
I'm like reading along in my office.
Yeah.
He's just in the other room and I'm like, I gotta read it. I gotta know what happens. Like, and I guess I do enjoy that part of this book is that I want to know what happens.
Yeah.
But I don't want to know what happens because I know it's not going to be the choice I would make.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, yeah, we probably just have to be okay with because it's not going to go the way we think it's going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you enjoyed this podcast, check out our second podcast, Off the Clock Library Talk, run by Miss Nina.
Yep.
We talk about lots of random stuff
Yes, we do.
and literally everything and anything. You get to know us a little better and it's a good laugh. So
Yes, it's
check
very
that
good
one
laugh.
out. It's here on YouTube. And comment below, stop by, and most of all, keep reading. Bye.
Bye.
Hope you enjoyed whatever this was.
This section, pages 100 and something.
You can
to
tell we're
200 and
done.
something.
Part 4, coming soon. I can't. Okay, hang on.
To a library near you.